So every chapter starts with a title slide, and the book has some cool quotes at the beginning. So those are interesting. Nobody, I suppose, could devote many years to the study of chemical kinetics without being conscious of the fascination of time and change. This is something that goes outside science into poetry. So chapter 15 is about chemical kinetics. And kinetic has to do with motion, right? And so what we're looking at here is how fast a process occurs. How fast does the reaction happen? Down here, oops, gotta do this. Down here, 15.1, catching lizards. So there's a separate video for each section of the book, and that's where you see what we're doing. So there's some cool, little background stories and stuff in the book, and I really encourage you to read that. But you probably know that lizards and other cold-blooded creatures, frogs and things, are ectotherms, meaning their body temperature matches their environment's temperature. So the lizards, they get really slow when it's cold, and when it's hot, they move like lightning, right? So when the lizard's body temperature drops, the chemical reactions occurring inside of its body slow down. And that's what causes it to react so slowly and move so slowly. Anybody have any thoughts about that?
Are turtles slow because they're heavy, take a lot of heat?
So are turtles slow because they're heavy and take a lot of heat? That's an excellent question. Some animals are naturally slower than others. A sloth, for example, they like weird creatures. Turtles are going to move a lot slower than, say, a frog. But really what we're talking about here is if you take a turtle in warm water versus a turtle in very cold water, the cold turtle is going to move slower because all the reactions, all the neurotransmission along the nerves, all of that stuff is going to be slower. That's not what I wanted to do. So the author tells kind of a cute story in here about his children like to catch lizards, and they found out that if they took a glass of ice water and threw it on the lizard got cold and slow and they could catch the lizard. I don't necessarily recommend doing that, but it's kind of interesting. So chemical kinetics, the topic of this chapter, is the study of the factors that affect how fast a chemical reaction goes. And there are a number of different factors that affect the rate of a reaction. Temperature is one of them. The rate of a chemical reaction is important. Some reactions, like dynamite exploding, they happen extremely rapidly. And other similar reactions also give off a lot of energy, but they do so very slowly. And if we can figure out how to control how fast a reaction goes, then we can do some pretty cool stuff. So the rate of fuel combustion. You don't want your fuel to all blow up at the same time, right? You want it to burn steadily. Don't tell the air quality control board. We're living in a rental house that has this huge fireplace, and it's out in the country, and so we've been burning wood. The really dry wood burns very quickly, and so you have to keep putting more in. The wood that's still a little bit green doesn't burn as fast. So you get a fire going, you put the green wood on there. It's not totally green, it's just kind of green. And as it starts to dry out, it starts to burn, and it burns much more slowly. And so you can have that nice fire without using as much wood. That's an example of rate of fuel combustion. Biochemical reactions in your body. It's, We don't think about it, but our body is essentially a chemical factory. It's full of chemicals and chemical reactions, and everything we do requires chemical reactions. You know, me moving my arm, that involves chemical reactions. What controls those chemical reactions? Well, a lot of them are controlled by enzymes. But the temperature is very important. That's why human body temperature is in a very narrow range. Now, 98.6 is normal, and the highest you're going to get without dying is up in the 106s. But if you get too low, you're going to die too. Because if you get too cold, all those reactions slow down, and you can't survive. You get too hot, some of the reactions are going too fast, and some of the compounds get destroyed by the heat. When we look at the rate of a chemical reaction and how it responds to different things, that also helps us to understand how the reaction occurs. So it gives us insight into how they occur.